Hello, welcome to the Infinite Metal Builder version 3.0 guide. I have put the lot into one sizable group right here, and this is the main controls where you can do the vast majority of what you need to do. And if you when we go into this, or I'll go into it when I go into it, you've got these controls as well. So it may be that I do this in a couple of parts. Likely I'll do it in two parts. First part will cover the outside, second part will cover the inside, alright? So yeah, when you open the latest version 3.0, you will be faced with a monkey and a plane. And these are just to display a bit of the of what a metal builder is doing, and also so I can show you what it does. So without further ado, I must put in my keyboard tutorial jobby, because I always forget. A cup of Earl Grey, very important when recording a guide. So yes, for people who come from version 2.1 or 2 was the last one, you know what all the controls do, but now they're just in this single group. So in actuality, you can access it all outside the shader editor now. All these controls are all here as well. Okay, so should we get to it? Let's go to the top. So yeah, color control. Single color, and you've got color effects. Right now, both color effects are on. So if I turn that off, I've turned the color effects off. So now it's just the plain bog standard single color. Sorry, my keyboard's playing me about. So the colors, yeah, you can either have this single color, which is classed as Pbr because there's some details down here. Pbr Anisotropic. There's two different types of metal controls. Pbr is just the default, which is this, and Anisotropic we'll get into when we get into it. So yeah, this is just a single color. Pick a color, whatever. That's just single color. That is explained, and then you can mix in both FX1 and FX2, and here underneath you have FX1/2 mix. So at the moment, if I just put that to 0, then it's only displaying filter 1, which is these two colors, as you can see. If I put this over to 2, it's now mixing filter 1 and it's also mixing filter 2. Excuse me. And to find you can change the mix mode of the two filters by clicking the main group, pressing tab, and then where is it? Here, color FX1 and 2 blend mode. So at the moment it's set to screen. So if you press Control tab to get back out, it is screening this color effects. Oh, wait, yeah, color effects 2. Have I FX1? But yes, why can't they? Color filter 2. So this one, it's screening this over this because this is set to screen. Which means it's ignoring the black. So if I change this color to red, you'll see it's changing here, but it's not doing it's ignoring black, assuming it's transparent, and only showing this color because it's set to screen. And then if I made this dark blue, it will disappear because we're on screen. And if we tab back in here and change this now to multiply, it's going to in actual fact, let me put this to white because multiply will ignore the white, and now it's those lighter spots have become darker spots, you see, because it's being screened over the top of color effects 1, and you have control of what, whichever blend mode you wish, but that is where you change the blend mode. And yeah, so as soon as color filter 2 is visible, I'm going to just drink some more tea. Where it says, this is actually an important thing I should have mentioned. Let me just bring in a color ramp to let you know exactly what this is. So anywhere on the group it says ramp, color filter 2 ramp. and we'll do that because it's the most visible at the moment. It's basically saying this is a color ramp. So here you can see position 1 is this, the black pip, the first pip, and position 2 is this pip. Even though these are called position 0 and position 1, that's not important. What's important is position 1 and position 2, and they correlate with this. So let's say position 1 is at 0.7. I need to click the first one and put that at 0.7. And I would also, because it's color 1, that's set to white. So if I change that to white, and then if I just now click position 2, which is this white, and I'm just going to drag that color into there like that, and that is set to 1. So now this color ramp represents these settings. Color 1 is white, this one is white. Color 2 is blue, that one is blue. Position 1 is 0.7, position 1 is 0.7, position 2 is 1, position 1 is 1. You see? Okay, that explains anything that says color ramp. Okay, Q, delete. So you've color effects, both of these have a filter, and as I say, just because FX2 is visible, we'll display that, but they're the same thing. Although this one uses a noise filter, color for FX2 uses a Musgrave texture. So yeah, these are the filters, so you can up the scale of that, you know, lower the detail and get blotchy splotches that have no, or disappear completely, whatever. But you know what I mean, toy with them. They do those things. They do what filters do. Okay, and I'm going to actually take FX1 down a bit, quite a lot. I just want a bit cleaner, just so we can see this next rim effect. Oh, beautiful to see. So the rim effect, I would suggest shift clicking when you slide this, because a small amount comes in quickly. So if I shift click that, and I'm going to move it ever so much, you'll see it start to appear. So it's kind of like pearlescence, I guess, where depending on which way the sun is hitting it or the light's hitting it, it depends where this rim effect appears. And that's the rim effect, useful for, as I say, pearlescent paint. But I don't want any. Rim roughness, you'll see, put it all the way up. It's very visible, clearly quite rough. Take it down to nothing, and it's just suddenly very shiny. You see? Let's bring it up a bit. You see what I'm doing. There we go. So that's the rim effect. So yeah, Pbr Anisotropic. Let me take off rim effect. I don't want it at the moment, cheese. Pbr is the default, which is this jobby. Anisotropic is like when you look at a flying pan. You ever seen a flying pan? Look up every now and then. There's in frying pans, you know, when you turn them over, you get that kind of sheen and gradient, choppy gradient type effect. It's just the way the light's been reflected, whatnot. But it's called anisotropic. Try saying that 3 times fast. Anisotropic, anisotropic, anisotropic. That's pretty good. IOR, yeah, that's just, you know, like index of refraction. You can change that. So, but I leave it at 1.4. That's bog standard for metal. I guess it works. So anisotropy is might be easier to see on the plane. So if I bring up, I need to slide over to anisotropic first, and you can see what's happened there. You've got this sheen, which you would see on the bottom of a frying pan, and you can add more anisotropy, add less. Oh no, why would you want to do that? And you can see it's dependent on how the light is being reflected from said object. You see? And again, if you click the main group and press tab, go into it, up here is the anisotropic type. So you can have, you know, use UVs or X or Z. They do different, you know, different stuff. See what I mean? See what I'm talking about there? Lovely jubbly. Alright, so Control tab, back out. Oh, not in there. Control tab. Okay, so that's Pbr Anisotropic. So now let us Remove, let's go back to PBR, and then I'm going to mix in a rusted metal. Like that. And then we start to get some rusted metal, you see? Like that. Metal color, oh yeah, because, hang on, let's have a look. Oh, you've got object UV mapping, so again, it's on UV mapping. This has already been UV unwrapped. Anisotropic BSDF, so in order to get the anisotropy with rusted metal, you'd have to slide it in because it's got its own principled shader. You see? Wonderful. Wonderful. Metal color, so again, single color, pick one. That's just for the rusted metal. I'm going to Control Z that. And the rust color filter, so this is the color of the rust, not the shape of it. That's under shape filter. So you've got scale, again, same old, same old. Play around with that. That's another Musgrave by the looks of it. And the rust shape ramp is a color ramp with just black and white because it's for the shape. You don't need color, which is why you can't change the colors, but you can change the positions. So as you remember, position 1 would be black, position 2 would be white. So if I took the black out by going to 0, there'd probably be more rust or less rust. In fact, let's go. Let me scrap that, and let me go the other way with the white. What happens with when I go that way? I get more. Okay, so if I if I increase the dark, the black, then I'm getting more rust. So if I up that even more, see there's more appearing now. Okay, but yeah, let's leave it at that for now. And the rust color is in the group. So here is the rust. There's a load of pips. It's just to give it different tones, you know, like rust. Funnily enough. But if you so wish, this is where you can change the rust color. How long have I been going, Nick? 12 minutes. Can I get it done in 20? I'm going to try my hardest. Sorry. Okay, Sci-Fi Effects. So we'll go back to the plane for this. And we will stop that. We'll remove rusted metal. Like this. Yeah, but I didn't say it at the beginning. This is just a plane. And I believe I've unwrapped them. UV, a cube projection probably. Just if you can unwrap them. You have a choice of object and UV. So just slide it wherever you see object UV and then use the UVs, alright? Jubbly. So Sci-Fi Effects, if we mix this in, you get this kind of funky thing. And you can add the bump separately. So you could have the bump without the Sci-Fi Effects, which is basically means the color as well. So now it's just the bump. You can invert it like this. Displacement mix. Aha, yes, I should probably show you that again after I've had my tea. Well, let's just do the filter first. So random shape 20 just changes it. Squidge. Scale, again, this is the filter, so you can make it bigger or smaller. It's got a randomness. Brightness. In honesty, I built this about a year ago. I've not a clue what that means. So I'm going to slide it and see what happens. I think it might be relative to the colour. So I need to bring the colour in again. Brightness. Now I'm expecting a change here. Let's have a look. Okay. It's the brightness. There you go. That's what the brightness is for. It's for the brightness. Okay, in order for me to turn on the displacement mix, I need to first subdivide this thing. Why is everything right? So right click, subdivide, 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 subdivide. I'm just going to rather than putting a subdiv on, I'll just make a load of subdivisions on it anyway. And now if I mix in the displacement mix, we have displacement. So now it's like a crazy futuristic landscape or whatever. Make of it what you will like. Displacement amount, or in displacement invert. So same as the bump invert, switches it round. A switcheroo. Okay, that's that. Yeah, but you just need geometry for the displacement to have any effect whatsoever. 0. So Sci-Fi Effects, displacement FX. Okay, luckily I'm going to turn off the bump of the Sci-Fi Effects because it's going to confuse and confound me. So the displacement effects. Why have I got scale? I'm going to have to look into that. I've no idea. That might be strength. It's strength. It's not scale. That's supposed to be strength. I need to change that to strength. So when you get this displacement effects, that will be strength. So chip metal. At the moment, chip metal is default, so the scale is set to 0, so it's invisible. But if you took that up to 1, it would activate the chipped metal filter. So let's have a look at the Maggie. Right, Maggie. So there, yeah, we can see it better over here. So it's just, chunking into it. I could probably make my UVs scale them up for that, but that's what it's doing. It's creating chips in the metal. Let's go 5 so we can see more and I can finish my tea. Yeah, it's chip metal. Alright. And I press go back to 0 to turn it off. Clip coverage. Oh wait, I didn't talk about that at all. Damn it. 10. No. 5. Chip coverage. So again, shift click, slide everything. So basically more is loads of chip coverage. So you've got control of how many chippages are on your object. Okay, great. Cracks. So I need to turn off chip metal back to 0. So cracks mix. We need to mix that to 1. Cracks length. Some kind of scale. I don't know if I don't know why I put that in. I might get rid of that. Invert, same thing. You know about that. So this is just a filter for these cracks, waves type thing, visibility, detail. Put them out to 16. But bear in mind this is displacement. So if you've got lots of detail, then you are going to need lots of geometry. Yeah. Okay. So that's the cracks. Hammered metal, so let's switch that up to 1. And yeah, we need to, because I might add a different strength in this actually. So let me just put that up to 0.1. Again, this is strength, not scale. 0.3. That's better. So there you go. That's hammered, and you've got a scale, of course, and randomness. Da-de-da-de-da. There you go. 18. Right, corrugated iron. There you go. Maybe not that much. I've put quite a lot of strength on this now, so maybe 0.1 will do it. There you go. So it's a corrugated. We need corrugated iron. There it is. You've got a filter, scale, and distortion. Don't really need it unless well, it's up to you if you need it or not. And then grating. So this stuff, the stuff they put on like industrial floors and whatnot. Okay, 0. Right, bump effects. Oh, I'm going to run through these and then I'm going to leave edgeware until part 2. Okay, so you've got your bump node settings up here: strength and distance, random scratches, which we're already on because it's default. So you can actually use it. Let's have a look. Vertical scale, horizontal scale. They've all got different filters to mess around with, and just as usual, just move sliders. Once you've mixed them in, move sliders, and you can see what they do. So carbon fiber, you've got scale, tile smooth. I mean, this depends. Carbon fibers tends to be quite small, but there you go. So the same thing again. Just move sliders and watch what happens. It's all bump, so it's very quick to update industrial floor. There you go. That's that old jobby. And there's the old scale. That's that. Cracks. Cracks. What's the crack? More cracks. And they've got length and invert. And another filter. So deep brush, this is just very, very rough metal. You see? That's what that one is. And again, scale and rotation. And finally, heavy bump, which is just an absolute mess of like melted metal. It's just, you know, nasty stuff. And that's got that filter too. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for part 1, and then in part 2 I'll talk finally about these two, edge wear and dust, and then we'll discuss this real quick. Okay, I hope that's been informative. I hope you agree it's an improvement on the last version. So until the next video, I've been Nick, you've been you. Until then, bye bye.